is against me, and he that gathereth not with me scattereth. Kol Holayim La, Abanawa Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rekah Chodash. Double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone and rule well. Salutations to the Akim out there on the highways and the byways. Salutations to the hopeful elect. Salutations to you speckled birds, you Israelite foreigners. And shalom to the Akwaf, sitting and listening in silence as the scriptures say to do so. I know I butchered that, so I'm going to read that again from the top. Luke 11, verse 23. He that is not with me is against me, and he that gathereth not with me scattereth. So, to make it clear, cut, blunt, and straight to the point and simple, if you're not with Yahweh while Yahweh Shai, you're against him, man. Okay? And you got to take heed to the instructions, the ordinances, okay, what the Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai has given us to do here in this captivity. So, like, let me check my sound real quick, make sure I'm on. Bear with me 1 second. Okay, Khan. So again, Luke 11, verse 23. He that is not with me is against me. Okay, so those that are not with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai are against Yahweh why Yahweh Shai, man. Okay, because the Lord gave us instructions on how to go about things, how to conduct ourselves, also to have the ministry to be blameless, and amongst other things for us to do, man. Okay? So, you know, when the Lord gives you a blessing to be able to understand his secrets, to reveal those things to you, to give you understanding of the precepts, the scriptures, our history, etc., the prophecies, you know, you don't want to take these things lightly, man. Okay, and furthermore, Salakia, Esau booted me out. Furthermore, we're in the Pesach right now, which is the Passover. So it's a time of reflection and also a time of detox for yourself, okay? Mentally, spiritually, and physically to detox yourself, man. Okay, to improve. Okay, because this is basically the real new year. Okay, so right now, and any time in general, Salakia, anytime in general is not the time to be losing faith, becoming weak, okay, being low in the spirit, giving up, you know? The Lord requires us to have the same diligence regardless of the portion that he has given us. Let's grab that real quick. That's Hebrews chapter 6. I quoted this in the lesson that I did prior. So this is Hebrews chapter 6. I'm going to start off at verse 9. Hebrews chapter 6, verse 9. But beloved, we are persuaded better things of you, and things that accompany salvation, though we thus speak. Okay, so we're persuaded, okay, by our teachers, our elder apostles, elder bishops, elders on down, and you know, also through Yahweh Yahweh Shah sending the Holy Spirit down, you know, giving us the revelation again of the secrets, the understanding, and to be 10 steps ahead of the adversary to know what's going to be brought forth and what's going to occur. So, and also too, again, we have the instructions, the guidelines, the blueprint from the Lord to improve ourselves, to conduct ourselves in a righteous manner, man. So we're persuaded to be transformed, renewed in our mind, man. Because what we're doing right now is not in vain. But a lot of jakes, as the beloved elder apostle Gabar always states and says, a lot of jakes don't really count the cost. They don't know what they're involved in, man. Because a lot of Israelites take this truth for a fucking joke. Now I'm gonna say it like that because that's how I feel when I see Jake that have the capability to do things that other brothers that are in the truth that can't do. You know, you have brothers that are physically not able to go out and preach, to teach, that are dying to be on the front line. And you have a lot of Israelites in general, a lot of Israelites, okay? Not just talking about one Jake, I'm talking about all Israels that lack, that's lazy, slothful. You have a lot of Israelites that don't take this truth seriously, man. It's just something that they were intrigued by. You know, it's trending, so everybody else is involved. I want to be involved. And you know, a lot of Jakes have a follower mentality. And you know, at the end of the day, man's goings of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Everything's being done according to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai's will. But again, Hebrews 6, verse 9. But beloved, we are persuaded better things of you. Okay, and Salakia, and you know, the Lord sets up his men to help you achieve those better things. You know, as I said in a prior lesson, am I my brother's keeper? Yes, we are. But we can only do so much for our brothers. You know, we can't, you look, man, you're grown ass men. We give you the information. We're there for you when you need a Salaki. We're there for you when you need us and everything else. But we can't hold your hand and walk you through every step, every process, man. You have to learn how to, you know, ask the Lord to lead you in that path, man. Because the Lord is establishing and setting up leaders, okay? And things that accompany salvation, though we thus speak. For the Most High is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love, which ye have shewed towards his name, in that ye have ministered to the saints and do minister. And that also reminds me of Yahweh Shai talking about the slothful servant that kept his penny in a napkin and basically buried it away. He didn't want to share that penny. He didn't want to share the edification. He didn't want to edify and multiply that gift to the sheep, because the sheep desire to, you know, be edified, to have comfort of the scriptures, you know, to have clarity and to understand the prophecies to a T, to be prepared for what the Lord's going to bring forth, man, mentally and spiritually and physically. Okay? But, you know, love, as it says, you know, the Most High is not unrighteous to forget your labor of love. Now, look at those two words, labor and love. Now, when you say you love somebody, it has to connect and equal with labor. Because love is not just a word, as Esau says, oh, I love you, you're my brother in Christ, all that nonsense, but yet he's making all types of things to oppress you, to kill you, etc. Y'all know. Y'all live in the same place I live in. Y'all know what it is. So when you say you love something, it has to have action. It has to have labor. Okay, it shows devotion. It shows your integrity, your investment. Okay, and again, a lot of Israelites don't take that so-called love that they say, which should have a great abundance of fear with it, to show forth the devotion, the labor, the investment. Okay, period, man. Because there, again, as I said prior in the lesson that I did yesterday, there's going to be no do-overs, man. No do-overs whatsoever. This is it. This is the time to get right, man. Either you're going to get right, as they say in the world, if you're going to get on the toilet, shit. If not, get up, man. So if the Lord has given you, again, we have examples. We read our Bible, the history. Again, Romans 15, verse 4. Things that are written aforetime were written for our learning. Okay? But Jake don't want to learn, man. A bunch of can't get rights. Okay? Ain't gonna be no do-overs, man. Okay? Hebrews 6, verse 11. And we desire that every one of you do shew the same diligence to the full assurance of hope unto the end. Even though the Lord might give you 10% of the Spirit, the Lord might get his brother 15. The Lord might get that brother 25, 55, 60. But you have to show forth that same diligence. What does that word diligence mean? Let's grab the definition real quick so we can clarify what I'm saying before I say it. Okay, because that word diligence is very, very important in life in general, but especially in this truth. Okay, as I stated, labor, devotion, your investment. Our life is this truth, and this truth is our life. So diligence. Okay? Salaki. Diligence. All right, this is the word diligence on the etymology online, which is a noun. Says constant and earnest effort to accomplish what is undertaken. You hear that? Constant and earnest effort. Earnest effort. So what does the word earnest mean? Let's break it down. Okay? Serious. Earnest. Serious. Devote. Okay? Earnest. Serious. Devote. Now what does constant mean? Because this is all in the word of diligence. Okay? Continual. Consistent. Okay, occurring continuously over a period of time. Occurring continuously over a period of time. Continual, consistent. Okay? To accomplish. Now, what does accomplish mean? Because that's what we're attempting to do, right? To accomplish our goal, right? Because our purpose, our goal is the same thing of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah, because we're one, we're like-minded. So let's look at that word accomplished. Fulfill, achieve, or complete successfully. And that's our goal. We want to complete the end of this race, to get to the finish line successfully, accomplish that goal. Okay? And it says, going on, attention, care, haste. Now all this is important. Again, in life in general, but as I stated, this truth is our life, and our life is this truth. So we have to take attention, care. Now what does care mean? I don't think I've looked the word care. Let's look it up. Care, and this is all in the description of diligence. Salakia. It says safekeeping, caution. Okay, safekeeping, caution. Okay, haste. Now you should know what haste means, but let's look that up too. Haste, speed, excessive speed or urgency. Okay. Excessive speed or urgency of movement or action. Hurry. Okay? Because again, we know ain't going to be no do-overs. And that's why, as I just read, it says again, Hebrews 6 verse 11, and we desire, so Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai desires that every one of us lively stones out of one Ratizah, okay, show the same diligence. Now, what's the rest? I'm going to read again. Diligence in the etymology online, which is a noun, consistent and earnest effort, which we gave you the definitions for those, to accomplish what is undertaken. Attention, care, haste, speed, okay, attentiveness, carefulness, okay, aspire, to be content with, appreciate. These are all things that should be applied to us, man. Okay? Hold on one second. Okay, so we need to apply that, man. Take heed to that. I'm gonna read that again. Hebrews 6 verse 11. And we desire, Yahweh Yahweh Shai, that every one of you do shew the same diligence to the full assurance of hope unto the end. Now listen, this is important too. That ye be not slothful. Now what does the word slothful mean? I never looked it up, but I'm pretty sure I know what it means. But let's look it up too. Salaki. Slothful. Okay, so slothful in the etymology online, which is an adjective, it says slothful, indolent. If I'm saying that right, indolent. INDOLENT. I might be saying it wrong, might be saying it right. But let's look at that word. Lazy. Wanting to avoid activity. Okay, that's clear. Sluggish, slowness, slothfully. Hey, that's there. Lazy, sluggish, and just no motivation. Okay, that ye be not slothful, but followers of them who through faith and patience inherited the promises. And you have ones that were brought before you to be an example, to guide you, to direct you, to correct you, and to Adawan Ratazah, have you not make the same mistakes that they made. But you know, Jake, our people, our people don't want to be in a position to take leadership orders, instructions from their own people that look like them. But when it comes to the heathen, Jake will bend his ear and listen and take heed. But when it comes to your brothers that the Lord is dealing with to tell you how to, conduct yourself, how to, evaluate things, how to correctly discern things, how to go about things, how to have some uprightness about yourself, amongst other things, man. It's always an issue with a nigga that's coming in the truth, because that's basically, what you still are, and we're trying to, purge that out of you by giving you the instructions and help that you need, because we receive those same things for us to grow, for us to prosper. Okay? But again, our people hate, damn, what's the word, man? It's right on the tip of my tongue, man. Our people hate order, but it's also something else. It's, authority. Our people hate authority, especially from our own kind. Salakia. Okay, verse that's it. That's all for that one. But let's grab this. It's one that came to my mind. Matter of fact, in Hebrews, Hebrews chapter 13, I believe. Matter of fact, let's hold that and let's go. Where is this one that I had in my head? Salakia. Cause I'm rolling in the spirit. I ain't writing nothing down. So we rolling in the spirit. So let's grab this right here. This is the book of Psalms. Psalms chapter 3. And I'm gonna start off at verse. Let's start off at verse 5. Trust in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. So, when you trusting in the Lord, the Lord's going to have men that's going to be set up above you to be an example, and also from various stages that they had to go through, a lot of trials, a lot of tribulations, experience. So the Lord's working through his men for you to be able to trust him too also, man, because the Lord put you in this position for a reason. So again, Proverbs 3 verse 5, trust in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, again, because the Lord is dealing with his men. Okay, with all thine heart, which is your mind, and lean not unto thine own understandings, because when we lean into our own understanding, it led us astray. It disconnected us from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, because we was being rebellious and disobedient, man. So with us being brought back into the fold, us having this grace period, we can't lean on our own understanding. We have to lean on the understanding of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, man. And again, we got the blueprint right here. Okay, so and also too, again, as I stated, we have our elder apostles, elder bishops, elders, seasoned brothers on down that have the experience of what's going to be brought forth in your lot, in your position, man. Everybody has their own position, their own story, and their own walk. But a brother might be able to acknowledge something that you don't see, and might be able to catch something that you might not have to go through, because the brothers might see something that he went through, and he might see it in you. Okay, and be able to help you avoid that situation if possible, or help you get through it, or give you advice so you can get through it. Okay, and amongst other things too. But verse 6, Proverbs 3, verse 6. In all thine ways acknowledge him. Okay, so you got to acknowledge Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai from the smallest to the greatest, man. When you wake up, you should be acknowledging Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Before you go out your crib, you should be praying to the Lord to give you a safe travel to wherever you're going. Even if it's up the street to the store, you walking, wherever it may be, man. When you having a meal, you should be acknowledging Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. When you wake up in the morning and you know the names Yahweh Yahweh Shai, and you understand the prophecies, the precepts, you should be acknowledging Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Okay? Period. From the smallest to the greatest, man. You always acknowledge the Lord. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Because again, you cannot manifest and create your own destiny. Man's goings are of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Point blank, period, man. Okay? And a lot of these Israelites don't know that or understand that. Okay? In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy ways. But be in no wise in thine own Salakia. Proverbs 3, verse 7. Be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, and depart from evil. So you can't be wise in your own eyes, because in actual reality, you really don't know shit. And I'm saying this coming into the truth from what I experienced and what I knew. I really didn't know shit. I thought I knew something. But when the Lord brought me in the fold with the brothers and everything else, I knew what the hell I was talking about when I was by myself teaching everything else, but as far as like the structure and everything with the body and all that, I didn't know that. It's things that I didn't know that I've learned being with the brothers. I acknowledge that. But, when it came to that point to be brought into the fold with the brothers, as Yahweh Shai stated and said, what did he say? Let's let the Bible talk, man. Because this is something that Jake don't want to do, man. Because again, our people think they know something when in actual reality, you don't know a damn thing. Okay? So this is the book of Saint Matthew's, chapter 18, verse 2. And Yahweh Shai called a little child unto him, and set him in the midst of them, and said, Verily I say unto you, except ye be converted, and become as a little child, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. So I had to humble myself, come as a little child, and learn the procedures, the process, actually taking the milk to be able to graduate to the meat. Okay, and that's not just scriptural. It's also conducting yourselves in the right manner with the brothers, having the right mindset. Okay, and also too, one of the main things, let's let the Bible talk. One of the main things when you get amongst the brothers, because again, I speak this from experience, man. The Lord gave me a beautiful spirit when I started out doing things by myself. I studied, which I still study and everything else. I was going real hard. Okay, but when I got in the fold with the brothers, it was a different experience. I had to come as a little child. I had to humble myself down. I had to understand I'm not above none of these brothers. These brothers know more than I know. It's not the time for me to try to compete and act like I'm on the same level as these brothers. No. Okay, so this is what I had to do. And this is what all new brothers that come into the camp that's in the outside should do. Okay? So this is the book of Sirach, chapter 32. I'm going to start off at verse 7. Speak, young man, if there be need of thee, and yet scarcely when thou art asked, it's like when thou art twice asked. Again, Sirach 32, verse 7. Speak, young man, if there be need of thee, and yet scarcely when thou art twice asked. So when you're really amongst the brothers, you really shouldn't be running your fucking mouth. You should be shutting the fuck up, listening and learning, taking heed from the experience that these brothers have. Because, you know, your brothers, just as well as myself, from brothers that came in after me and everything else, we're here to help one another grow, to prosper, to improve, to elevate. So how are you going to do that? First and foremost, you don't submit yourself like a little child. Take heed to the authority, to the order. And then thirdly, shut the fuck up. And if you don't like what I'm saying, you can unsubscribe and go watch somebody else. I'm going to give it to you raw and uncut. Because again, you come around, you just got to just shut the fuck up. And if you're asked to be spoken to, you speak scarcely. And what else? What else? Verse 8. Let thy speech be short, comprehending much in few words. Be as one that knoweth and yet holdeth his tongue. So let your speech be short, straight to the point, powerful. Just as well as when you're doing a lesson. You can also apply this to doing the lesson, man. You know, read your precept. Let the breakdown, the commentary, however you want to say it, be short, powerful, and beneficial and edifying to the flock. Okay, but we're talking about brothers being amongst other brothers, newer brothers per se. Okay? Verse 9. If thou be among great men, make not thyself equal with them. And when ancient men are in place, use not many words. Now, it tells you that using not many words 3 times. Okay, it also states in the last precept that I just read, make not yourself equal with them, man. Because you're not equal with them. Okay, there's levels to this. There's levels to all this, man. Okay? Because everything has to be done as Paul said what? Let's grab the precept. And again, I'm just rolling in the spirit, man, you know. I ain't even, honestly, I ain't even think I was going to go in the direction I'm going in, but it is what it is, man. So this is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 40. Let all things be done decently and in order. Okay? Let all things be done decently and in order. And that's, you know, everything has to be structured. Everything has to be done decently and in order. Okay, so everything has to be as much as it can be on point. Okay, and everything has to be, again, structured. And it has to be according to righteous standards, man. Point blank period, man. But you don't want to be in the position, again, you don't want to be in the position of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah blessing you and revealing you to this truth, having you understand the precepts, the prophecies, and you're not physically and spiritually, so like you're not mentally, so like you're mentally and spiritually right, man. Okay? That's something that, you know, you don't want to, you don't want to be like, man. What's that precept? Salakia. I can't think of it. It's on the tip of my tongue. Salakia. I'm gonna close out because I gotta attend to a call real quick. What is it? Okay, Salakia. I think I know what it is. Salakia. Think I know what it is. Salakia. Bear with me 1 second. Bear with me. All right, this is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9. And I'm going to start off at verse 12. So shall my works be acceptable, and then shall I judge thy people righteously, and be worthy to sit in my Father's seat. For what man is he that can know the counsel of the Most High? Or who can think what the will of the Lord is? For the thoughts of mortal men are miserable, and our devices but uncertain. And see, that the last precept, I'm going to read it again, verse 14. For the thoughts of mortal men, it's like mortal men are miserable, and our devices are but uncertain. And we don't want to be in that spirit. We want to be in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, to have a rulership mentality, man. A mentality of above and beyond than of this world, man. To think about what is it? Things of the kingdom, a better life, and again, Salakia, it's on the tip of my tongue. I can't even think of what it is. Let me read it again. Wisdom of Solomon 9, verse 13. For what man is he that can know the counsel of the Most High, or who can think what the will of the Lord is? But, Salakia. But we know what the will of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is, man, because he has revealed it to us. The Lord has revealed his will, his pleasure, his secrets unto us. So that also sets us apart from having the mental process, the mental thought process of mortal men. Okay? Because as Yahweh Shai said, in the book of St. John 17, verse 9, that they be one as we are one. That means no divisions amongst us. We have the same thought process. We agree, etc. Okay? For the thoughts of mortal men are miserable, and our devices are but uncertain. For the corruptible body presseth down the soul. Okay, that also refers to when it says the corruptible body presseth down the soul. That's basically stating your flesh trying to overcome your spirit. But us of the hopeful elect, we do the best of our ability to have our spirit overcome and conquer our flesh, so that our flesh can't press it down our spirit. Our spirits, as we attempt to do, to have it be elevated as much as possible throughout the day and throughout life in general. For the corruptible body presseth down the soul, and the earthly tabernacle, okay, again these prisons, weigheth down the mind and museth upon many things. And again, the Lord has set up men that have gone through these things and have accomplished of overcoming these things. So it's got to take heed, man. It's got to take heed. There was another precept I had in my mind. Thinking they're going to come to me. But I'm going to leave it right there. I got to attend to this call. I might come back and do another live. Because I didn't really want to go the route that I went. But it is what it is. But Adawan Ratazah is beneficial. It's edifying to your beloved Aki and Wa Akwaf. So with that, I'm just going to say, Shalom.